Hello, my name is Michelle. I am the owner of Tot Prop Shop. I sell newborn photography props. I wanted to come on here and share my infertility journey. I know too many people suffer silently, and I'm hoping that by sharing my story, it helps you know that you are not alone on this journey. I am right there with you. A little bit about my story. Rewind to 2013, trigger warning for anybody without children. I do have a son, and I know that that can be sensitive for some, so just trigger warning. Rewind to 2013. In April, I found out that I was 8 weeks pregnant. I was 21 years old. I was in a very unhealthy relationship, and I knew that my boyfriend at the time did not want kids. And I knew that I had to choose to stay in my relationship and get rid of the pregnancy, or I could have this baby and say goodbye to the relationship. So, my son is 8 years old. It was the hardest decision I ever made at 21 years old, knowing I was going to be a single mom, but it was also the easiest decision I ever made. Don't recommend having a baby that young. I wouldn't change anything for the world. My son is a brilliant, highly energetic, way too sarcastic kid. He is so much like me and nothing like me all at the same time. So I thought, and I forgot to mention, I was on birth control when I got pregnant with my son. So he was how? How did you happen? So when I met Jason, my fiance, Tyrus was 4 years old. So I was single for 5 years. Because I honestly thought I'd be a single mom the rest of my life. I was like, nobody's going to want to date me. I have a child. So I met Jason in 2018, 17. It's all a blur. We actually worked together. And when we started dating, I was extremely cautious and got on birth control right away because didn't want to have a kid right away, and found that birth control made me very nauseous. It was a horrible journey trying to find the right one for me, and the one that I did end up on made me not like him anymore and made me incredibly irritable. So I got off of it. I got off of birth control in November of 2019, and we were careful, but if you're not on birth control, then you're technically not trying to get pregnant. So we discussed, and I said, if it happens, it happens. And when we're ready to try, we'll learn how to track. I knew nothing. So I got off birth control in November 2019. My mood stabilized. I became a nice person again. And I honestly thought I'd get pregnant right away. I thought for sure I am fertile. I am ready to go. It's going to happen. And it didn't happen. And it continued to not happen. And I don't know why, but I let people convince me that there was something going on in my body. And that's why I wasn't getting pregnant, even though I already have a baby. So I went on the journey of getting diagnosed with PCOS. I was gaining a whole bunch of weight at the time prior to this unexplained weight gain, and I do have the symptoms for PCOS. I have had irregular periods, hormonal cystic acne that I am trying to cover up. I have male pattern baldness. You can see all my nice new growth because I have some awesome shampoo. I got lots of regrowth happening in there, but for a long time, this patch here, quite bald. Really embarrassing because I'm only 30 years old. And I also have some nice coarse facial hair. So those are the four things to look for if you suspect PCOS, and I have or had all four. So My doctor thought I was crazy. I could not get her to get me diagnosed, so I ended up going to a naturopath who's like, yep, I believe you. I suspect the same thing. Here's what we're going to do. And so I did all the things. I take myoinsitol every day. I'm on all these supplements. I was working out. I wasn't losing weight, and I wasn't getting pregnant. So now what? Then I started acupuncture. I was going for acupuncture every week, once a week, $75 each time. I did that for, oh my gosh, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Every week for 7 months. Still not happening. I ended up telling Jason in June that if I wasn't pregnant in that June of 2020, he had to go get checked. He had to do it. He was being such a big baby. So, of course, didn't get pregnant. He goes for an analysis, and what do we find out? Oh, that not only does he have a production issue, but when he does produce, spin in circles. So I felt gutted for him because I could tell he was quite upset. But secretly inside, I was kind of like, yes, my body is fine. It's not me. And I could relax and stop being so hard on myself and shift my focus towards him and getting him on track and trying to figure that out. And it was a weight off of my shoulders, and it went onto his shoulders. So thankfully he is lovely and patient and fairly easygoing. So everything shifted over to him. He went on supplements, Mitomotal. He takes that every day, but his counts went up a little bit, but not enough. He ended up going to see a urologist, and the urologist, after an ultrasound, said he's got a production issue, and they don't know why. It likely is probably genetic, but we don't know. So his urologist said, get started on IVF now. And this was in December of 2020. So then we thought, okay, IVF. The one thing that I told everybody I would never do. Ever. I hate needles more than anything. I am a wimp. I would never do IVF. Here we are, February 7th, 2022. Oh my gosh, so all this was happening in 2021, not 2020. Oh my gosh. We start IVF in 2 to 3 days. 3 days. I am terrified. I had a call with my nurse today to go over my protocol, the egg retrieval, and implantation, or what do they call it when they put a transfer back in? And I have to do 2 injections every day for the first 5 days of injections, 4 days. And then on the 5th day, I introduce a third drug that I have to inject. And then when my follicles are ready, I have to do a trigger shot, the final one, I think. They will clarify that with me. And one of the drugs I'm on will be Gonal F, and that pen has its own, it's really cool. It's like an EpiPen, and it has the dosages here, and each pen has a certain dose, but I have to take 225 milligrams or milliliters, I don't remember the dosage, 225. And so there will be some days that I'll have to give myself 2 of those because I may empty out the one shot and need a little bit more from a new pen. So really not looking forward to it. But I'm doing it in the name of making a baby. So we start IVF, in 3 days. Hopefully on February 10th. We do 7 days of injections that cost $2,677.99. And then after those 7 days, every 2 days, they will tell me if I need to do more. I have to go for ultrasound starting on the 3rd day. A lot. I have to go every other day for ultrasounds in Victoria, which is a ways away from me. I have a clip where I go into talking about my phone appointment with my gynecologist. gynecologist, but I forgot to I forgot to introduce that that's what I was going to be talking about, and so it kind of seems awkward. So I'm putting this clip here so you know that that clip is coming, so it's less awkward, right? So yes, I'm inserting a clip where I talk about what happened in August of 2021 with my gynecologist. It wasn't nice. In August, I had a phone appointment with a gynecologist. I had waited several months for this phone appointment. It was a referral that had gone in April. And she was so lovely up until I told her my height and my weight. And from there, her tone changed. That's my son running on the floors upstairs, if you can hear that. And she told me that I need to stop trying and focus on losing weight first, which is not really something you tell a woman who has been trying for nearly 2 years to get pregnant. You shouldn't tell any woman in any point of her journey of trying to get pregnant that she needs to stop, just in case you don't know. So that shattered me. I cried in bed all night that night. My weight has always been a sensitive topic. I know I'm overweight. Can't hide it. I'm a big girl. But I haven't always been a big girl. And the weight started piling on in, I want to say, the summer of 2018. I really started gaining weight, and we didn't know why, which I talked about with the PCOS. One of the signs of PCOS is sudden weight gain, and it's due to something called insulin resistance. So that really shattered me, and I cried a lot, and we decided that I wasn't going to listen to her. I finally got my call from the fertility clinic in October, and I let her know right away that my weight is a very sensitive subject. For me, fat's not a bad word. Fat is a descriptive word. So when I say I'm fat, I'm not calling myself down. I am fat. I am heavy. I am curvy. I'm a big girl. It is what it is, and I know this about myself. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't love how I look. I really don't love the double chin. I don't love the extra jiggly arms and belly and thighs, but it is what it is. This is my body right now, and this body is trying to make a damn baby. It is what it is. So I told my fertility clinic, my fertility doctor, Dr. Calderon. She is lovely, so lovely, and she sounded shocked that my gynecologist had said that, and she said the only thing they're concerned about with my weight is that if my BMI is over 40, which it isn't, that I have to pay more to have a anesthesiologist present at my egg retrieval. And she said, just so you know, that's an extra cost for you, and so we will, if that's a concern for you, then we'll be concerned. And I said, that is a concern for me, so I'll do my best to stay under 40, and I am under 40. So that was the only thing she said. And my weight has not been brought up since about being too fat to have a healthy pregnancy. I have good looking ovaries. My uterus is tilted but normal. All is good. So we are set to start IVF in a few more days. I wanted to go through something that a lot of people don't know about, is how much all this costs. So in BC, we do not have funded cycles. We have no funding, and personally, Jason and I don't have extended benefits that cover fertility drugs. So what we had to pay for last week, on a credit card, we paid $8,550 for IVF with ICSI because of male factor infertility. We have to do ICSI, which is where they actually select the best looking sperm and inject them into the eggs. And then we had to pay $700 for embryo freezing. And I had already paid a $500 deposit. And they gave us a $500 credit for travel, which was nice. So, because we have to come from the island to the mainland. It's a whole thing here. So and then the medication on top of that. So we are spending a huge chunk of money. I received just over $1,000 in donations through our GoFundMe and privately from mostly my customers, which is shocking, as well as another vendor, which is also shocking because sometimes vendors can be really catty, but one lady in particular, Little Bird Photography Props, she is lovely, and she sent an e-transfer as well. So that stuff is all helping pay for our meds. I am so grateful for every single one of you who has donated, who has reached out, who has shared your story either publicly or privately, who has added me and messaged me and answered all my stupid questions. I am so grateful for every single one of you. This journey is so hard, and I know so many of you go through this journey alone, and you shouldn't have to. But I understand that not everyone is comfortable speaking about it, and so just know you don't need to go and make a video or a post and tell people you're struggling, but know that you can reach out to me privately, and I will listen to you. I'll cry with you. I will support you in any way that you need to be supported. Whatever it is, this journey is so hard, and hopefully for all of us that are struggling, we just get a precious little baby out of it. So yeah, that is my infertility story so far. I'm sure there will be updates to come as we start. I'm sure I will be on Facebook whining about the injections and crying with happiness when I can announce that I'm pregnant and all the things. I've been a mom for 8 years. I am grateful to know what that feels like. And I have wanted for the last few years for my son to be a big brother, and I just can't wait to finally be able to purchase that shirt that says finally promoted to big brother or something cheesy like that. Yeah. So if you need to vent, you know where to find me. If you'd like to follow along or read more of my story, I have a blog post I'll link in the bio below to my website. So sorry for the pop-ups, but it's also where my blog is, and I go through everything that we've gone through so far, and I will keep that updated too. The link to my GoFundMe is also going to be in the description below if you want to share it or donate. No pressure. And yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I will be back with another update hopefully soon. Bye.